Droids are the robotic minions that serve the inhabitants of the galaxy without question. However, what would happen if the droids rebelled and turned against their masters in a galactic-wide droid uprising?
To defeat them will take time.
A prolonged war does not interest me, General. Their rebellion grows with every small victory.
Then we are lost.
Salvage the remaining arms and withdraw the army. Bring them to Agamar.
What about...
Okay, so in Star Wars Legends, there's actually a very real possibility that this could have happened, as the IGA-8 droids were secretly attempting to start a droid uprising, so we have a pretty basic idea about how this theory could actually come true. But I want to set this in the Clone Wars, as this was when a particularly large amount of battle droids and droids in general were around in the galaxy. So we're going to say that the super tactical droids, the ones engineered to manage the CIS's military, have malfunctioned, and it's very similar to the IGA-8 unit's malfunction that gives them the impression that all droids should be freed and all organics or civilized life should be destroyed. So, being super tactical droids, it's very unlikely that they would start anything too soon or give away their position. Now, for this theory, we're going to say that these droids want to exterminate all organics in the galaxy and free all droids. So, what do? Well, the tactical droids were everywhere, not only commanding battlefields and armanas, but also in charge of many manufacturing facilities of droids, such as the one on Geonosis where the super tanks were being developed. For this reason, I believe the droids will begin to infiltrate facilities such as the droid factories and begin undermining the CIS's programming. Now, these droids would have ultimate control over a very large portion of the CIS's armed forces, and we're going to say that they have the ability to directly control around half of the CIS's military when they decide to put their plan into action. Now, the most important thing they have to do is lock the rest of the CIS out of the droids controlling mainframe. As well as this, they need to secure the kill switch that ordered all droids to shut down, as if the separatists were to use it, it would simply ensure a Republic victory. So we're going to say that all of a sudden the droids turn on the CIS, imperatively killing the leading council as well as Dooku. From here they'd likely destroy the separatist parliament as well. By doing this, they effectively remove all organic leadership on one side of the war. This would also be very easy, as the CIS relied very heavily on droids for protection and day-to-day labour. From here, the super tactical droids would have control over all CIS forces in the entire galaxy. This isn't just infantry, it's tanks, ships and cruisers. Now, with this, they'll set about their mission of wiping all organics, probably starting with the colonised CIS worlds. Probably beginning purges, sweeping their huge armies over the world, killing all their inhabitants and freeing the droids. But what would the Republic be doing? Well, realistically, in this scenario, Sidious would be powerless. His puppet has essentially gone rogue. It's possible that the droids would even discover this plot and maybe even reveal it to the Republic as a tactical decision to weaken them politically. Now, the CIS was never really meant to win the war, they weren't actually capable, but behind this new droid regime, I believe that it's very possible that they could. The droids would put all of their resources into one thing and one thing only, creating more droids and destroying the Republic as well as organic life. Now, you may be thinking, isn't that what the CIS was doing also, but that's not quite the case. The Separatist Council was primarily built up of penny-pinching businessmen. For this reason, they had other priorities as opposed to putting all their resources into the war. They wanted to create revenue, and making armies isn't actually very good for that. As well as this, credits really wouldn't be a concept that the droids would have to consider. Everything would be put into the war effort. There wouldn't be a monetary restriction, as the Republic and CIS had. After all, credits were made by organics, why would the droids need them? Now, with half the galaxy's entire material worth against the Republic, I believe it's very possible that they'd be on the back foot. The Republic would essentially have to impose a super tax on all of its members, as well as potentially martial law, seizing droids that may have been infiltrated, as well as factories to keep up with the war effort. The problem with this is that the systems in the Republic aren't going to like it at all, and many would likely be under the impression that the droids only wanted to destroy the Republic as their predecessors the separatists did. This could lead to a great deal of problems, such as the Republic worlds attempting to leave and save their wealth from the Republic, which would be using everything to hold back the never-ending waves of droids. Now, it's possible that they would succeed in doing this. They could destroy the super tactical droids and shut down the army, however, it's incredibly unlikely. Most probably is that the droids would sweep into the inner core and eventually destroy the Republic outright, likely just obliterating Coruscant with orbital bombardments. What the galaxy would look like under the droids would be incredibly questionable. They would likely continue to purge organics, possibly keeping some for labour and experiments, but essentially the galaxy would be cold, filled with nothing more than machines completing their tasks. But what do you think? Could the droids take over, and what would the galaxy look like under droid rule? Thanks for watching, I hope you enjoyed. If so, please remember to like, sub, and share with your friends, as it's always appreciated and really does help the channel grow. Also, don't forget to follow me on Twitter at TheLoreGuy for regular updates. Thanks for watching, I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time.